Why, hello, YouTube. This is Critical Failure. I'm Edward Burns,
And I'm Wubba Lubba Dub Dub.
and today we're going to keep discussing the Blood Hunter. And we're going to talk about, I think, everyone's favorite archetype of the Blood Hunter, Order of the Mutant.
Do you mean Geralt?
Yes. Yes, I do.
Sad.
Now you're going to teach me about this archetype.
End video. No, besides being our most unliked archetype,
Yeah.
just so many drawbacks, and it's sad. But, excuse me. Essentially, right out of the gate, you get the ability to learn formulas from different, potions, I guess you would call it. And you get additional formulas at 7th, 11th, and 15th level. And 18th, sorry, didn't see that. And you get to essentially, like, each time you level up, you can switch out, like, one of the former formulas that you know with a new one. So you don't have to keep the same one
You're
each
just
and every
like,
time.
fuck this. I'll never use this again.
Yeah.
Just forget about this. I'd rather learn this.
Yeah. And also at 3rd level, you get to be able to craft one of your choice. So I'm assuming, on a short rest, you get to concoct a single mutagen, and consuming it takes a bonus action. So, if you haven't righted your weapon and you want to pop, like, a potion or
It was like,
whatever you want to call it.
hold on, guys, I gotta take a
Mutagen.
shot.
Yeah, it's like a mutagen of cruelty or something like that. Then you can. They all have side effects. Some of them far worse than others, into which we, between the both of us, agree that most of the because of this, this class is not like viable for us, because for everything that's even minor, they have a severe hindrance, I guess you would call it, like side effect.
Some of them give you like one benefit and multiple negatives.
Yeah, and it's not even the fact that it's like the pros outweigh the cons in terms of numerity. It's like you could just get a flight speed like it does in one of them, and then you have a failure to strength and wisdom checks, or like strength and dex checks.
You mean disadvantage?
I thought it was whatever. I don't remember. I read it on a totally different, older PDF, and I'm also tired. But another thing about your mutagens is that they have no effect on large or larger creatures. So if you wanted to try and poison a Goliath, it doesn't work. Or
no, it would have gone on Goliath, because they still
Goliath
count as medium.
I thought they were larges. I'm wrong then. But they do give the side effects to other creatures that are medium and below. So if you really want to mess with another character, then here's a way to do it. So if you really want to kill that rogue who keeps stealing from you,
like, boy, I'm gonna mess you up. Here's a good potion. You see all the cool things it makes me do? Drink it.
Yeah. There is a thing called a mutagen score, which is your blood hunter level divided by 4 rounded up. So if you're like level 20 divided by 4, it's 5 rounded up. So 5 even. Excuse me. At level 7, you get advanced mutagen craft, which, if I'm correct, just gives you another mutagen. Yeah, you can create 2 mutagens, also at a short rest, and they have to be of different formulas, so you can't just continuously make the same one.
So you can just sit there and produce more faster.
Yeah, and the cool thing is that you can take them at the same time, so it's like you drink one and then the other, and it overlaps, but you get both side effects. But they both cost different bonus actions, so you'd have to do it a turn after each other. And once you reach 15th level, you get the 3rd formula mutagen that you can create. At level 11, you get strange metabolism, which basically you get a temporary resistance to the negative effects of the mutagen. You get to resist the side effects for a minute. And I was just reading the 1.3 PDF, and it actually gave you a resistance to 1 in general. And into what I read, it made sense for it to be per long rest. You could change it.
I like that. I kind of like that better, because these last for a long time.
Yeah, they do. Level 15, which you get the add a mutagen. You get robust physiology. Your body has begun to adapt to the toxins, and you essentially gain immunity to poison damage and the ailment of being poisoned, so the poison condition. Uh, at level 18, you get Exalted Mutation, which this is where I start having issues heavily with the class besides the mutagens itself is, excuse me, you start naturally producing one of the mutagens, and you permanently get the mutagen good thing, but you have all the side effects, and you cannot take it away whatsoever. Like, it's permanently there. So this makes it seem like, regardless, you can't just strange metabolism it to where you get it immune, because it literally word for word says that failed, but your body has begun producing one of your toxins naturally. Choose one of the known mutagen formulas. You gain the benefits and side effects of this mutagen permanently at all times. You cannot change this choice of formula, which I forgot to say. And for the mutagens, they have some really cool ones, but they all, in my opinion, have really bad side effects.
I think the best one for that one is the reconstruction one.
Oh, the one for healing. Yeah, we'll get into that one here soon. The mutagen of the ether, it's spelled Aether, Aether. You have to be at least level 11 for this. You gain a flying speed of 20, but the side effect is you have a disadvantage on strength and dexterity checks. In my opinion, it really makes no sense for that. If they wanted something like that, it would be you have to land as an action. I could completely see that because you're not used to flying yet.
Or, what they could have done? You gain the flying speed, but, you just have a slower, walking speed or something.
Like, you're forced to have a slower walking speed. Yeah, I understand that. There's celerity. That's a word. Your dexterity score increases by the amount equal to your mutation score, which, remember, it's your blood hunter level divided by 4, rounded up. But the side effect is your wisdom score decreases by the amount equal to your mutation score. So essentially,
I feel like this one could be really good for dex build if you don't plan on using your blood curses.
Yeah, basically, because if you do not want to use your blood curses and you want to go heavily into a more roguish style, so you just get maybe up to level 3 in there's no prerequisite. Up to level 3 in Blood Hunter and then rogue the rest, you would do pretty well, in my opinion, for dex. The next one is Conversant. Yeah, that's Conversant, right? I want to make sure. That looks like Conversant.
I think it's Conversant.
Yeah, Conversant, so Conversant is what I'm going to say. But you gain advantage on intelligence ability checks, but you have disadvantage on charisma ability checks. This is one of those ones where I'm okay with it a little bit because it's taking one and just subtracting the other, and I'm completely more accepting of it.
Yeah, as long as it's multiple hindrances.
Yeah. Cruelty, which is something that you liked. Prerequisite, you have to be level 11 though. You make a single weapon attack as a bonus action at the end of each of your turns, but the sad thing is that this is the killer part. The side effect is you have disadvantage on intelligence, wisdom, and charisma saving throws.
Yeah, that's really bad.
Yeah, that's 3 different saving throws into which
you go against any magic user, you're basically going to get wrecked.
Yeah, it's really sad. There's impermeable. You gain resistance to piercing, but you get vulnerability to slashing. This is one of those ones where it's like a give and take.
Yeah, so the damage ones don't bother me at all, the damage resistance types, because it fits. It's very balanced.
It makes sense. Mobility, you are immune to being grappled and restrained, what I really like on that aspect, but you gain a penalty to initiative equal to 2 times your mutation score, which really sucks because even though most of the people we play with really don't care what our initiative is besides me, I find it if you're a higher level, then you're not multi-classing whatsoever, so you get to level 20 and then you want to use mobility to not be grappled and stuff like that. It's have fun making sure that you're last because you have a minus whatever to your I think it's 5.
Isn't this the one where it also at a certain level you can't be paralyzed?
Yeah, you're also immune at level 11. I completely read over this. At level 11, you're completely immune to the paralyzed condition. I can't read. I'm sorry. I have slight reading issues. But yeah, like I completely read over that somehow. I thought that was just the word side effect, and I just continued from there. Night Eye. I found this one really funny because you talked about the
Yeah, this is when you just play as a drow.
Yeah, you already have or sunlight sensitivity. So
yeah, and it's like I can see
Night Eye.
so
You
far.
get dark vision up to 60 feet. If you already have it, it increases range by 60 feet. Which very useful if you're going to be in the Underdark for a long time if you're in campaign.
So like if you're a drow, you'd be seeing like 180 feet. And then there's a couple other like archetypes in the other classes which increase dark vision even further. Like I think it's the Gloomstalker's the name for the new rogue archetype, and that gives you an additional dark vision of like 30 feet.
That's really cool.
So you just do that, just those two classes, and you have a dark vision of like 210 feet.
Wow. The next one is the mutagen of potency. Your strength score increases by the amount equal to your mutation score, as is your strength maximum, which I found really cool. And this is one of those ones where I'm okay with it, but you have a disadvantage on dex saving throws. So it's one of those where you gain 2 advantages and you get 1 penalty. But my issue with that is if
well, it's not really 2 advantages. It's like it goes to the same thing, but you know how like 20 is the cap.
Yeah,
this allows you to go beyond.
Yeah, but it's
so you become strong boy. It's like, do you even lift, bro?
When you literally challenge Thor to a arm wrestling match
and your arm still breaks.
This one I kind of found really cool, but I kind of dislike the side effect because it makes no sense for why. But on precision, which a prerequisite is level 11, your weapon attacks score a critical hit on 19 to 20. They changed it.
Is this the one where the healing is half?
Yeah, it's healing is halved. In 1.3, it was 19 to 20 with the prerequisite of later, once you get to level 11, or once you got to level 11, it would be 18 to 20, because I remember saying this to you, and you said something about it for a second, and I talked about how healing was halved. My ears ringing. Then there's a mutagen of rapidity. That's what I'm calling it. But your speed increases by 15. At 15th level, it increases by 20 instead, but you have disadvantage on dexterity ability checks.
I find that kind of weird. I guess it's like I'm going way too fast.
Yeah, it seems like it's kind of like a like when you're using like horse and carriages and stuff like that, you're just like, you know how you go in the fast pace, it's like you get disadvantage on perception checks. That's what I'm assuming. There's reconstruction, which you were talking about. You have to be level 7 as a prerequisite, but while conscious in combat, you regenerate hit points equal to 2 times your mutation score at the start of your turn, as long as you're above 0 hit points. The side effect, though, is you have speed decrease by 10, which we talked about. You know, you get mobility, or if you multi-class with the monk anyways, you're already going like hella fast.
Or like if you're a wood elf, which wood elf would help with your blood curses because they get +1 wisdom and the speed boost, so it don't drop you down, like you'd be like 5 feet slower than most races. And if you take mobility, you're still like at 35, so you're slightly faster than a good amount of things.
Yeah, you can just keep out of reach. And then this is a new one that because I went from 1.3 to 2.1, but it's Saga City. I don't know how to say this word. It's literally Saga and then City as one word. So Sagacity?
I think it's like Sagacity.
Sagacity?
Like you know, like a sage type thing.
Yeah, that's what I was going for, is like Saga, but that was the first thing that popped in my mind. But for Sagacity, that's what I'm going to call it for now. Your wisdom score increases by the amount of equal to your mutation score, as is your wisdom modifier. The wisdom itself.
So you become a wise boy.
Yeah, you become really, really wise. You can really like find things with your perception, but your armor class is reduced by the same amount of your mutation score.
This makes no sense to me. Why does that even happen?
Yeah, it's like you can essentially, like, even with the best armor plates, unless it's magical, I think that highest you can get is like a 20 maybe, unless you get a better shield, which if I'm correct gives you a +3.
Well, like with base equipment, like blood hunters can't even get access to like heavy armor in general. They have like medium, so you need like something like a feat or something to get heavy armor. But plate mail is only 18.
Yeah, so what I'm thinking is if you get like studded leather, and then you get your dex all the way up, which would make it to 17, get a shield that's 19. But if there's a feat to give you a +1 to your AC, That's 20. But I think maximum you can only get like 19.
I just don't like it because this doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, it makes no sense.
Why
it completely
would
takes
you
it away
lose
for us
your
because
AC just because you become more wise?
Yeah, it's like
if you're more wise, you should be like, you know what? It's a good idea not to get hit.
You
by
learn
the big...
patient defense like a monk. That's what I would assume. But going on to the next thing, their mutagen of the shielded. You gain resistance to slashing, but you get vulnerability to bludgeoning. I really like that.
Yeah, this one's fine with me.
Yeah, this is one of the damaging ones. The next one is also a damaging one, but it's bludgeoning. But you get the vulnerable to piercing damage. Mm-hmm. Completely fine with us. And then wariness. This one was weird to me. You get a bonus to initiative equal to 2 times your mutation score, but you have a disadvantage on perception checks. I can see that one again, like how it was the exact same one.
This one's like you're in such a rush that you
it's like you're getting it's like you're getting haste essentially. So never mind, I can see that. But yeah, that's the end of all of that, and we don't really like this archetype at all.
The funny thing is this was originally going to be your first blood hunter.
Yeah, because Wesley and I discussed like originally taking away all of it and writing in like legitimate ones, into which they were like very minuscule things. Like I think it'd be like minus this amount of health for this one. You can't do this on this thing, or like it was very minuscule stuff.
Yeah.
And it's just kind of sad seeing this because it's a good concept, but done very terribly.
I feel like this archetype is kind of pointless because if you really want to do this,
you could do it with your alchemy.
Yeah, like that's in my game. We would just do this with just alchemy supplies, anyways.
Yeah, because we would just roll our D20, and like if we got like, if at first it was if you kept getting like above a specific number, and it would increase like it was like a difficulty check essentially.
Yeah,
you would make a healing potion. Eventually, you're just like I roll the die. You make this. And then you roll the die, like a specific die, and that's how many healing potions you would make. And they were always the 2d4 plus 4 ones. But I thought it was a really cool idea. And like we discussed, if I were to do Order of the Mutant, I would completely scrap like all of the like,
I don't think I would ever play Order of the Mutant.
I would
play any other Blood Hunter and just use my
I would like to essentially
to just try and make the potions of things I would like to enhance myself with.
I would be completely okay with doing rid with most of the mutagens and just writing some. Like talking about you and try to like make it as our homebrew class, because honestly it's not really a good class to me. Like only 5 of them make sense. That's the 3 damage types, and then there's reconstruction, which is we're fine with.
I'm fine with the critical one.
The critical one's decent, but everything else in my opinion just makes no sense.
Yeah, I don't like this archetype.
I don't either. I love the Blood Hunter. I don't like this archetype. And then it's just like, you tried too hard to make it like The Witcher. And not talking bad about Matt Mercer, it's just like, it makes no sense for it to be so severe, mainly because you're not really getting a good benefit out of it. So it doesn't give any reason for you to do it.
I think you just get way more negatives than you do like benefits from this.
Yeah. And like, even if you were just like, oh, you take hit points off of it, like from drinking it, you know, it's like, that's a lot better to me as a person than having disadvantage on 13 different, checks or saves. Because if I'm correct, there was one in the 1.3 that you drank it, you had disadvantage on every check or saving throw.
No, that's really harsh.
Yeah, and we were discussing, I think it was the one where you got to attack multiple times until the effect wore off. It was like essentially you got another attack as a bonus action, and it was disadvantage on all ability saves. So that was garbage.
Yeah, I really don't like this.
I don't either. It's not one of the good ones in my opinion.
Yeah, but I know there are people out here who really like this archetype, but we just aren't those people. It's not for us.
I don't know why I'm coughing so much. I don't like it. I'm not even sick. That's the sad thing.
You got anything else to add to this video?
No, I was gonna say don't play the muted, but that you guys play how you want to make it, man.
You guys just play whatever you want.
It's just our personal opinion. That like we've discussed before. This is a lot of our personal opinion, homebrew stuff. So
I think that's it for this video.
Yeah, I'm Brandon Wynn.
I'm Edward Burns.
Don't forget to like and subscribe. Visit us on our Instagram at Critical.Failure.
And
see ya.
Yeah, we'll see you next time.
This is actually the end of the Blood Hunter, so definitely try and message us on our Instagram or in the comments below what you want to see for our next class.
You know what?
What's up?
We might be able to find some like homebrew archetypes for the Blood Hunter and do more videos on it.
Yeah, possibly.
See what like people in the D&D community make up, and
I would like to
go
try
over
and play
stuff.
them before I make a video.
Well, I played one before, the vampire one.
That was homebrew.
Yeah, I tweaked it up. I got it from the DM's Guild.
If you want to do that one as another video for a later time, that'd be really cool because we already have like two different video ideas already. Because I know it's my elf and hobgoblin one next, and then the necromancy one that I completely like. You said you've liked it, and that one's the AJ Pickett video idea. But yeah, like I'm down with that. So yeah, that was a tangent.
I guess this is bye again.
Yeah,
The final goodbye.
actually, goodbye, guys.